sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, hey, go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. If you like that live stream, click subscribe and leave a message. If you want to support the show or you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one/shop. Well, I got an announcement coming with the shirts. If you want to get the current Reaver of Common Sense logo, you need to get that now. Within a week, it will no longer be available. We have a new logo that is premiering, should be within the next week. And once that premieres, the old logo will no longer be available. So anybody that has those shirts, you have a collector's item at this point. And also we have new SHR Media shirts. The new design is somewhat like the old, but hang on, let me grab it and show everybody that can watch it on camera. There we are, the new SHR Media logo and t-shirt. And we got SHR Media. I believe they should be on a plane right now heading towards Las Vegas for Freedom Fest. So for the rest of this week, we'll be getting updates live from Freedom Fest. I don't think we'll have any updates tonight because they're going to be setting everything up and getting it all in place. 8 p.m. though. 8 p.m. Southside Mutts. Hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. That's right. It will be live tonight. And, Crash has been pent up for 2 weeks now. He will be unloading tonight on a lot of stuff. And I know this goes back and forth with polls. I'm laughing right now because Trump has caught or passed Hillary in all the swing states. No, Sacco is not going to be out of the cage. They can't find the key. So the setup will be left to Sackhead Sean. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, I don't think these polls have been really showing a honest race. It's... What the heck is going on with my computer today? Driving me nuts. It's the CPU is slammed. And I looked up for see what's going on, and it's possibly it's some update got put on and there's an error. So the computer's fixing itself, which they never fix themselves for my... Well, yesterday we had Obama going to a memorial for 5 officers. And what does he do? Instead of giving a speech just for them. No, he has to throw in everybody else, throw in the racist card, throw in cops are racist, throw in about gun control, do a goddamn political speech instead of just talking about the officers. I am sick and tired of these goddamn Democrats. That was not the time for all his bullshit. He was there to memorize 5 brave officers. And instead, he trivialized their deaths. And there's still idiots that back this bleep and bleep bleep. Yeah, this no cussing thing is not working out too good for me. I didn't know that Obama dropped his own name over 40 times during the speech. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it with that egotistical. Oh, I'm gonna get coffee right now. Hold on. Instead of cussing, maybe I ought to drink coffee, but then I'd be drinking coffee nonstop. It's. I'm appalled by his actions. I'm embarrassed again. And what's worse is there's still people that don't get it. They don't see what he did wrong. But these same people would be flipping the hell out if it was a Republican president doing it. There's a picture of a girl, looks like she's getting ready to say something with the letter F. It says, "Guess what I learned after Daddy hit his thumb with the hammer?" Leave it to my wife to post something like that. I love my wife. It's, I don't know. I'm appalled. And I'm getting tired. The argument's old. The bikers for Trump, they are grouping together. They will be at the RNC convention, and they plan on providing extra security for the convention. Now, they won't be directly involved, but they will be on the outside, and they will be patrolling the area to keep anything from happening. And what's funny is every time the bikers for Trump have showed up, all these protests go bye-bye. These bikers will not put up with any nonsense. These guys aren't afraid to get arrested. They aren't afraid to throw down. And I'm not saying that's exactly always a good thing. They're not politically correct. They don't give a rat's behind. So it's... The left does not like them. The left can't stand that they're going because the left wants to cause nothing but trouble. They're even trying to cause trouble at their own convention. They want to cause trouble. I hate when cables are all spun up and twisting on itself when they're not supposed to. They're even going... There's even talks that they're going to cause trouble at the DNC convention for many of reasons people are coming up with. I mean, I'm not saying that it is going to happen, but those are some of the scuttlebutt. And I don't try to listen to all this because you have on a couple articles are written that Friday, the 15th of July, will be a bunch of protests all over the country, which right now, I mean, I could probably predict there's going to be a protest this coming weekend. And it's the same list that was put out last time. They just changed the dates. That's all they did. They changed the dates. So it's... The articles are just trying to get you to click. Now, I have my website, and I will go sometimes days without an article up. I would rather not put an article up than put these clickbait articles up there. That's why I ask people to go there, sign up. And the only reason you're signing up and putting your email in there is so that when a new article goes up, you're emailed and you're notified when that happens. I don't put articles up for the sake of putting articles up. I hate that. I don't want other sites to do it, so I don't do it. And maybe that doesn't keep the traffic going to my site. I would rather be honorable and putting up true articles than just putting articles up for the sake of articles. And I'm not saying all sites do that, but there's too many that do that. My site is for information, current news, and issues pertaining to my show. That is all. I have sponsors. And to try to alleviate, the web page from getting overloaded, I do have some small advertisements on one side. But I have put it a separate page for you to go to, for you to, if you want to take a look. If you see that there's a sponsor that you might want to deal with, then you click on the sponsors tab, and you then pick out which sponsor you want to check out, which deals they have. I hate it when people land-based, and it takes like 3 days for their webpage to load up because they got all these advertisements strewn all over the place. It makes me not want to go to your site. So I don't do the same thing. I try not to. I got to put some advertisements up, but I put a minimum amount on the web pages. In fact, the one thing that's annoying me about my webpage, I'm probably going to change, is the player for SHR Media Station automatically starts playing when you log in. And especially when you're working on a website and that thing keeps going off in my ears every 5 seconds. Oh, it's annoying. But I did it so when people go to the site, if they want to listen to the show, it automatically comes on for them. Just make it easier. But I'm starting to see it's a little bit of a nuisance. And Baton Rouge police. The suspect stole guns in plot to attack officers. At a press conference Tuesday, law enforcement revealed that the Saturday theft of 8 handguns from a Cash American pawn store on Government Street had a sinister purpose: get bullets to harm police officers. Baton Rouge Police Chief said that this incident represented a viable and credible threat. 7 of the 8 handguns have been recovered, and 3 of the 4 suspects have been taken into custody. Resident agent for ATF said that their agents were working around the clock to find the missing suspect and guns. This is exactly what pro-gunners point out. Quote unquote, the bad guys are not going to go about getting their guns the legal way. They will go through their routes however possible. Breaking into a store and stealing them is a viable. They don't care. They're criminals. That's what they do. They break the law. And these unicorn dreaming, fart eating, unicorn farts, I'm talking, think that by banning guns, it's going to make all criminals go away, and that once they realize that everybody's unarmed, they will lay down their arms and join together in peace. And no, I'm not being exaggerate with that statement. I think it was Feinstein or Pelosi that actually made that statement. That once the criminals realize that we are unarmed, they will lay down their arms and stop committing crimes. Scary, isn't it? Scary that this is what they think. It is. And what's funny is they keep saying, we want conversation. We want a discussion. You guys won't talk with us. You go to talk with them on guns and they block you. I guess they didn't want conversation after all. During the press conference, law enforcement officials continually reiterated that the primary goal is to protect the public as well as police officers. The officials said that one of their primary goals was protecting the First Amendment rights of the protesters. The East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff said that this event influenced recent shows of police force. Several times over the past 3 or 4 days, we have all been asked numerous times by numerous individuals, why the show of force? Why are y'all responding in the manner in which you are? We wouldn't say, and we wouldn't say because of an investigation going on. But what you saw is a response because of a very real and viable threat against law enforcement. All I can say beyond that is, look what happened in Dallas. A very peaceful protest, and then some crazy madman did what he did. So I think the threat speaks for itself. We can't take anything for granted anymore. We can't take anything for granted anymore. Our goal has always been, and it always will be, to protect and serve the public. All of the public, including those who have a right to peacefully protest. But we are going to protect our rights as police officers sworn to uphold and protect those laws. This reporter that wrote the article has been on the scene in Baton Rouge since the day after the first protest broke out 1 week ago, and has reported on the escalating nature of the clashes between police and protesters. Law enforcement in Louisiana capital city has been forced to juggle the demands of protesters and politicians, including Baton Rouge Mayor Kip Holden, who has been noticeably absent throughout. The result has been a clear lack of clear rules of engagement that has heightened tensions between the police and protesters. Outside agitators continue to stream into Baton Rouge, including the new Black Panther Party and radical activists from New Orleans, Florida, and other locations, while mainstream media has blanketed their coverage with false information promoted by radical leftists driving an anti-American, anti-police agenda. Residents have told that they are concerned that the outsiders' influence combined with the pre-existing tensions between the community and law enforcement could lead to more violence. This new announcement gives credence to residents' fears. This is what we saw in Ferguson. We saw in Baltimore, where outside influences turn these peaceful protests into violent clashes. The left is importing these violent groups to come in and cause these heightened fears, the violence. TV went bonkies. It's it is sickening what we got going on. These groups are not out for justice. They're out for anarchy. And you have Black Lives Matter groups speaking up saying that they want the police dismantled. I would agree with that except for one thing. There's innocent peoples that have to live in these neighborhoods. And they would be the ones that pay the price of the high crime rate, the murder that goes on. Because the one narrative that I keep hearing that is missing, they keep talking about how cops have a war on black men, even though they're not the ones getting killed at a high rate. The whites get killed more often by police than blacks. And what do we say? Stop breaking the law. Stop giving reasons for officers to pull a gun out. Is every single incident between whether it's white, black, pink, purple, green justified? No, it isn't. But jumping to conclusions before investigations have even started is what causes these high tensions. Pushing false narratives, as it's the black person that is getting murdered. Well, whites are getting killed at a higher rate. 97% of blacks that are murdered by other blacks that are not police officers. The ones actually killed by police officers is less than 1%. Less than 1%. 97% are killed by other blacks, but we're not allowed to speak about that issue. Yes, blacks are being attacked by other blacks. And I'm tired of my brothers in blue being blamed for something that they're not doing. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, iTunes, YouTube, Spreaker, and the list keeps growing on and on. And I can't forget to point out that tonight, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., right here on SHR Media, you have the Southside Month hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. With that, we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary By avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Sorry about that. Trying to run around, do a million things. Lost track of time. Sorry about that. It's... Trying to make sense out of senseless is a daunting task. And sometimes I don't succeed. What I see going on in this country, oh no, hopefully you got the computer issues all fixed, Kel. I know how that goes. I'm not having a meltdown, but my computers are acting funny today. And they were like, normally I'll run like 29% CPU. When I got everything up and running for the show. But I was up like 99% when I first started everything up, even before, and I couldn't understand it. My, what I quote-unquote video production computer, the one I use for live streaming, yesterday, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the webcam stopped working. I was like, what the hell? For some reason, the driver just stopped working. So when I got done the show, I unplugged the cam, plugged it back in. It did a little, search for a driver, and everything was fine then. I'm wondering if there was a Windows update because the error I got right before going on air was, it said basically that it is a file that's messed up, and usually because of an update. And it was running a program in the background, and everything seems to be fine now. But I'm wondering if Microsoft screwed up on a update and has everybody's computers all a little wonky. It just... At the same time, I put a tweet out. I am speechless and at a loss for the current state of this country. But then I look at the administration, and it all makes sense. Because there is no order. There is no lawlessness to them. And our country is just acting as the leadership is. And it's absolutely mind-boggling that we have a president that is so inept and so clueless to his actions. And I wonder if he's clueless. He's either that stupid or that smart. And I mean that smart because he's out to purposely destroy the United States, or he's just that stupid. And I wish I can get 5 minutes with Barack Hussein Obama and just ask him, are you that stupid or are you that smart that you're purposely destroying everything? I know I would get a runaround answer, but I'm not like other reporters. I'd call them out on it and just say, no, it's a simple question. Are you that stupid or are you doing it on purpose? And I'm big enough. I'm sorry. I know I promised I wasn't going to do this, but I'm a big enough asshole that I would just keep going. No. Answer the question. And I would keep interrupting him until he answers the question and not give him the ability to do his run around and talking in a circle. I hate when politicians do that, and I hate when journalists let them get away with it. And then you hear when you do have a journalist that has a set of balls and interrupts. I'm trying to answer. No, you're not. You're giving me a runaround. It's a simple question. A lot of them. Simple questions. It's a yes or no answer. Well, it's, I don't know. No, I asked you, do you want to go to dinner? Yes or no? Well, you got to look at what the definition of dinner actually means. And, back in early stages of our country, shut up and answer yes or no. And then Obama last night, now I know I'm going to be listening to the anti-gun parrots for months and even longer because I'm still hearing the parrots, 97% of the scientists say that there is global warming. Yes, I still have idiots that believe that 97%. And it boggles my mind. Nobody in this country has ever agreed. Scientists have never agreed 97% on anything. Anything. You still have scientists that try to say that the world is not flat. Or, excuse me, that it is flat. You still have scientists that say that. It boggles my mind. So now Obama, when he was at the memorial for 5 fallen officers that was there to memorialize the 5 officers, he decided to go on his anti-gun rant and suggest it's easier to buy a Glock than a book in many communities. What kind of books is he trying to buy? Maybe he's trying to buy national security books. For that, you just go to Hillary Clinton, ask her to email you the book. She'll email you. He suggested that police relationships with minority communities are in a tatter because we flood communities with so many guns. It is easier for their teenagers to buy a Glock than to get his hands on a computer or even a book. But yet we tell the police to keep these neighborhoods in check at all costs. On a different note, real quick, Prime Minister Cameron is giving a speech on his last day as Prime Minister, so hopefully England can start. O is a Class A asshole. Yep. I will agree with that. Even if he honestly believes that stupidity, that it's easier to get a gun than it is a book, that is not the place or the time to have that discussion. And then he goes on and Obama said, we all know this to be true, but we cannot even talk about these things. It is not true. And just because your dumb, idiotic, moronic mind thinks it to be true doesn't make it true. Because I can go to any store that sells a book, pay the money, and walk out. No background checks, no filling out paperwork, no nothing. I go to a store to buy a gun today, and I'm going to have to fill out paperwork. I'm going to have to wait for background checks. And if I didn't have my CCW, I wouldn't be walking out. So there's no waiting list for any books. I can go buy a book on how to build a gun and not have a waiting list. No background check. This is one of the top 5 moronic things. And I don't even know that because this man has said so many moronic things, it's getting hard to keep a list. He's making more stupidity comments than George Bush ever did. And that's hard to do. And I like George Bush. But George Bush said a lot of stupid things. Yes, he did. I will admit that. Obama is topping him with his asinine comments. And this is one of them. And again, it just scares me how many parrots will be repeating this. Rock, Polly want a cracker. Polly said you can get a book. It's harder to get a book than a gun. Rock. Polly want a cracker. Polly want a cracker. Cameron says that after he gets done the speech, he will be heading to Buckingham Palace to present the Queen his resignation. Well, Obama, on July 9th, Obama sounded a similar theme while speaking in Warsaw, Poland. He criticized gun laws in Texas, tied police safety to more gun control, and said Americans need to come together and talk about guns. He said there is a way to talk that is consistent with our Constitution and the Second Amendment. Yes, there is. And you have yet to have that conversation. He then pledged he will not cease talking about gun control. And we will not stop fighting you. I will not stop talking about doing away with gun control. I will not stop talking about these murderous gun-free zones. I will not stop talking about our rights. And I will keep fighting the unlawlessness, the unconstitutional speak from this so-called president. Oh, I didn't know that one, Kel. Oh, Lord. I thought she was pro, was on the same side as everybody else. That's not good. I am at a loss, people. What we have going on in this country is sad. This country is this country that I am so proud of. Well, I don't know how proud I am right now of the country and what this leadership has turned it into. And I'm just laughing. The news, the mainstream media have made such a fuss over Trump and his presidential pick. It's like a 24-hour watch. We are on day 4. We are on God knows how many hours without sleep. We are camping outside of Trump Tower. We are waiting for any tidbit of news of who the vice president pick will be so that we can try to tear it apart and use it against Donald Trump. 4 days now without sleep. We're on around-the-clock coverage. I haven't eaten. Between this and Black Lives Matter, that's all we will be reporting on. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's how it sounds anymore. I've never seen this much coverage over who's going to be vice president. They don't even give this amount of coverage over Hillary Clinton. Well, is it going to be Elizabeth Warren? Who is she going to pick that's going to help her destroy this country? I love how Trump is keeping it really tight-lipped on who. Because it usually is leaked out by now with this, and nobody has a clue. All the media, it's going to be this one. It's going to be Chris Christie. It's going to be this 4-star general. No, it's going to be Newt Gingrich. Everyone's running their mouth. And me personally, I hope it's not Chris Christie. That fat bastard. I don't want to see him. That would hurt Trump. That would hurt his numbers. He would lose New Jersey, absolutely. I don't know. Actually, he might win New Jersey because they'd be like, yes, we get rid of Chris Christie. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Don't ask me why I did that. I was watching Airplane 2 last night. And for some reason, I got the Hare Krishnas in my head. I don't know how many of you have actually seen it, but they got the Hare Krishnas in the airport and all that. And I love airport and or Airplane and Airplane 2. My wife just looked at me. She's never seen the movie. Never. God, she's been so mistreated as a child. She didn't get to see Airplane or Airplane 2. Everybody should have to see those. Trump is going to announce at the convention. All right, you can give Trump one thing. He is a showman. He knows how to bring the media around. He knows how to whip them up into a frenzy with ease. When was the last time we had this much coverage on the conservative council? Yeah, don't call me Shirley. Striker. Punch the lady. You know they wouldn't be able to make that movie nowadays. Those and Mel Brooks movies would never fly nowadays, which is a shame because there's going to be troves of people that miss out on just stupid humor. Just a movie that you sit back and laugh about. What do you make of the situation? Well, I can make a brooch. I can make a pterodactyl. I can make a hat. I mean, they made fun of a gay guy, and it was tastefully made fun of. They weren't making fun of that he was gay. They just used certain stereotypes to accentuate his character. And to me, it was just hysterical. I wasn't laughing at him. I was laughing with him. You would not see that nowadays. It would never fly. I mean, there was racial jokes. They made fun of everything and anybody. Blazing Saddles. Where are all the white people? Let me whip this out. That everybody complains about that nowadays. Blazing Saddles, that was a racist movie. Oh, Mel Brooks, he was a racist. No, he wasn't. He didn't write all of Blazing Saddles. He teamed up with Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor wrote all the jokes for the black part of the movie, and Mel Brooks wrote all the other jokes, and it worked perfectly. And what's funny is it's okay, or they even go after, but the Jewish jokes, that's okay, but you can't make any jokes about blacks. Why? People need to learn to laugh at themselves. You want to make fun of me because I'm German? Go right ahead. I'll laugh right along with you if it's funny. You want to make fun of me because I'm English? Go right ahead. Irish, Scottish, American Indian. Go right ahead. If it's funny, I'll laugh at you. You want to poke fun because I'm fat? Hey, if it's funny, I'll laugh at you. People need to learn to laugh at themselves, and the world gets a whole lot easier. The world becomes so simple when you learn to laugh at yourself. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, and ICRN, Red Nation Rising, iTunes, and YouTube. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, They're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is. And that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying confidence, stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.shop. That is REAVER.ONE/shop. Pick yourself up a t-shirt, coffee mug, bumper sticker, many items to choose from. Oh, man. My soundboard has gone totally nuts since yesterday. Because now my commercials aren't playing on my YouTube broadcast. And I don't know why. I just picked that up, Kel. Yeah, I don't know why. It's worked before. I haven't changed anything. And now all of a sudden, it just doesn't want to work. That's weird. Let me see something real quick. Here, let's play a little station ID real quick.
This is Dave Milner, host of The Unpleasant Blind Guy. You're listening to conservative media done right on the SHR Media Network at shrmedia.com.
Now that's totally weird because the same output that my headsets are on is on the input for the computer. That's weird. That is weird. Maybe not. Or is that this one? Huh. I don't know. Wait a minute, which one is that going to? That one goes to the phone. Let me see something. Huh. I don't know. This is absolutely... What the heck? Now what's going on? All right. I'm going to have to play with this after the show to see what's going on. I'm at a loss. All right, we'll deal with this after the show. I figured maybe I could do a quick fix on it. I'm not sure. Yeah, BLM is very confusing because you got two different versions and they're both just as evil. Yeah, the Black Lives Matter hate group, and then you have the Bureau of Land Management, which has been going around and taking land from people. They don't have power, they don't have authority, but yet they got a SWAT team. That is the BS that's been going on in this government, and it scares the living daylights out of me. So Black Lives Matter organizers, police are operating as an occupying force in black communities. It's just the black communities that they're occupying force. The other ones we don't care about. No, you are complaining because I don't hear any ethnicity that follows the laws complaining about the police. The only ones that are complaining about police, and it goes for all ethnicities, are the ones that are breaking the laws that don't want to follow our laws. Those are the ones that think it's an occupying force. Those are the ones that don't want police in their community. But we saw in Baltimore what happens when the police stop actually doing their job. Crime rates go up. Murder rate go up. You will have anarchy. And the ones that are calling for it want anarchy because they are the ones. Those are the ones that will be out committing the crimes. They'll be the ones that will be terrorizing their neighborhood. I don't care about color, people. I don't give a rat's ass about color. But what I see is the little old lady down the street, not able to defend herself, will be getting broken into, robbed, possibly murdered. How about the ones that can't protect themselves, that rely on the police to keep areas somewhat safe? I am absolutely appalled that anyone even suggests that. Absolutely, unequivocally appalled. And we are a nation of laws. And we have Democrats who started the KKK at one point to intimidate voters, to intimidate the Republican Party. And if you don't believe it, actually go research it, because that was the original, who created and why they created it. Well, it seems that it would seem that the Democrats have now created the BLM and are using that for the same purposes, to try to intimidate, misrepresent facts, attack Republicans, so that Democrats can win elections. People are waking up to the fact that the Democrats are not out for the best of any minority. They're not out for anybody but themselves. Really anymore? I mean, Democrats are the hate group. And I can't believe so many people, and when I was young, I was one of those people. I believed in the BS that the Democrats were spewing. Because I was young, I was dumb. And Democrat Party is nothing but a hate group. They are not out for the best intentions of America at all. They stand for nothing of the Constitution. They stand for nothing of America. Anymore, they are pushing these one world nation crap. Can't put it. That's the nicest way I could put it. I apologize, but that's the nicest way I could put it. They are pushing this globalist, elitist, and telling how great it will be for everybody when the policies that have been pushed already that we're told were going to be great for us have failed any iota of success for the people. It's been successful for other governments in other countries and been a failure for our country, and it's been warned repeatedly by the Republicans that it was not going to help our people or our country. And yet they keep pushing this global elitist. It helps Mexican citizens because they'll be able to come into the United States and have jobs. It will put more Americans out of work. BLM is nothing but, it is the equivalent of the KKK of its time. They are, not all of them, but a majority of them are racist. They're racist against the whites. And I just find it hysterical that if you speak out against them, speak up for oneself, you're automatically labeled a racist. If you speak out against this president, you're labeled a racist. This is the only president that you've not been allowed to speak out against for fear of being labeled. I mean, I don't give a shit. You label me whatever the hell you want to label me as. Just as any other labels, they can be ripped off and thrown away. Maybe the people at first started BLM with good intentions. But when all these leaders, how many of them have been arrested so far? And I'm not talking about, the one was blocking traffic. I'm glad that he got arrested. I'm tired of these protests, blocking traffic, interrupting people's livelihoods. You could be costing people jobs, and then they won't be able to provide for their family for your protest. You want to protest. But don't be blocking streets. You're interfering with people's lives, and it could cost someone their job. You're endangering lives by doing that. And if one of these people were to get hit, the leaders of those protests should be charged and culpable in their injuries and death. If death were to occur, of course. Because they're the ones that are telling people, let's go block this highway. Let's go walk out on a highway where cars are driving at high speed and at nighttime. One of these people gets hit, and then God forbid for that driver. God forbid to him. Because they're going to get attacked by a angry mob. Just as I do not care for people burning the American flag, but it's free speech. You want to stop it real quick? Yeah, it's free speech, but it's also called arson. I can't go start random fires like that. I know in some areas you can't even have a cookout in your backyard unless you get permits. It is called arson to burn things randomly like that. If you hate this country that bad, and you don't think this country was that great, the country that gives you the right to speak and spew your venom, I have a challenge for you. Go to the Middle East and live there and spew your venom against the government. Go to Asia and spew your venom against governments. Go to South America and spew your venom against the government. Heck, go to Mexico and spew your venom. Go to Mexico and talk about them mistreating illegal aliens going into the country. Heck, even go there to talk about the mistreatment of foreign citizens that go there legally. How they're treated by their own constitution as a third-rate citizen. Go there and speak up and tell me how it comes to play for you. How it comes to play for you in almost any other nation. Go to Russia and speak up against the government like you do. And then tell me how great those other nations are and how they are better than the United States. And I've been told by many people that come here from other countries, that come here for the intention and come here legally because they see the opportunity. They despise these people that speak down about this country because they come from other countries where you can't do that, where you're mistreated. You have no opportunities. You have no rights in these countries. And then we have these spoiled brat Americans because they're not getting their way, because they're not able to act like irresponsible, childish criminals. They want to bash about what the United States is about. Go to any other country and try that. Go to Asia and try your protest. Now, what's going to happen? Go to the Middle East and try your protest and tell me what's going to happen. How many countries do we hear about where protests pop up and they're shot and killed on the spot? Or someone stands up and speaks out against their government, and what happens to them? They either disappeared or they're shot on the spot. You got grievances. There's issues you're not liking about America. Great. Stand up. Let's talk about them. Bashing the country, telling us how it was never great. Well, it's great enough that it allows you to speak your venom. And it's a direct conflict of your statement that you're able to make that asinine statement. So I challenge you to go to any of these countries and speak up like you do here, and then tell me what the results are. And like I said, simple, go to Mexico. Speak up to the government. You know what? You're going to be thrown out of their country. You're going to be thrown in jail because foreigners have no right to speak about government issues. You're a third-rate citizen. You're not allowed ownership. Even if you become a Mexican citizen, you're never treated as a citizen of Mexico. These people run their mouths about things they don't know. They're out to destroy the morale of the country. They're out to destroy American patriotism so they can do away with this country. That's what this is about. They want to push this global, this one world nation, North American Union. If they can get away with it, they would try to push this one world nation right off the bat. But they know they can't. So it's little steps. And I've talked about this numerous times. Canada is a great neighbor. Mexico, for all its fault, is a great neighbor. But you're Canada, you're Mexico, we're the United States. That's the way it should stay. We're nations. Nations have borders. Nations have rules. It will not work out. The European Union is not working out. It's working out so great over there. It's so great that they have to keep people, these countries from leaving. Things are so great over there that to keep them from leaving, their big solution is, let's do away with all the nations, become one nation. Because then you won't be able to leave. You can't leave a nation. Why do you think that was their big suggestion? They had been talking about that for a while now. That's their end game, is to become one nation. And that's what would happen here. The North American Union, you give 2 decades where you start having people, they are born and raised in an environment where there is no individual countries, where there's this big union, and then they don't care about, there's no pride. There's no patriotism. So then they can start pushing for that. Let me tell you, this is what is going on. I teach my child patriotism, what made this country great, what makes it still great to this day. Have we tripped up along the way? Have we had some bad moments in our history? Yes, we have. But you want to talk about slavery? And you want to use that as an excuse to say why our country's bad? We don't have slavery in this country anymore. It is not legal. We are the only country. We are the only country that went to war to end slavery. We're the only country that did that. You still have slavery in the Middle East, Africa, Asia. It's still going on. It's still a thriving business in some of those areas. But you want to bash us for what happened 2 centuries ago. Over 2 centuries ago. Well, we can't change our past. We went to war. Brothers killed brothers. Families fought families to end that tyranny. Not tyranny, but that the disgusting part of our history. And then people still want to shove it in our faces. Oh, my family's always been poor. They've never owned slaves. You bash everybody. Is everything perfect in this country? No. But this divide that this administration has been pushing, and now he wants to sit out there. There's no divide in this country. Everything's going great, but there's such racism. Everything's going great, but there's such racism. He has been dividing us since day one. And now that people are waking up to it and speaking out against it, he's got to sit out there and go, oh, shit, we can't have people telling the truth. It's not good, people. Lady Liberty is in danger. And the one leading the fight against Lady Liberty is the Democrats. And the Republicans are helping out. There's certain Republicans that are on board with this global one world nation agenda because it makes them money. We need to step up as a nation. Not good, people. And we need to fight. We need to band together. And we need to stop this separation. We as citizens need to stand up and fight against the government. And I mean in a vocal, political manner, not in violence. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising, iTunes, Spreaker, and YouTube, and many others. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to reaver.one. That's REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream button. And if you're watching it, hit subscribe. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to reaver.one/shop. That's reaver.one/shop. You can get yourself a bunch of different t-shirts. You can get yourself coffee mugs. We have so many different items to choose from. And with SHR Media, they now have the new t-shirt up and available. That is the new one. Actually, it's going to be up and available after the show. And then you do have Thomas Jefferson, Second Amendment, Last Defense t-shirt. We got so many different t-shirts, great t-shirts. When people see them, they fall in love with them. I know a lot of people are like, I don't have the money, but you know what? I'm going to get one. I got to get one of those Second Amendment. They're a limited time only. And also the Reaver of Common Sense is the logo. Well, it's a limited time. The new logo should be premiering hopefully within the next week. I don't want to give it an exact date because I don't have an exact date, but a new logo will be coming out. So, Priebus just was talking, and the GOP has now changed language, I guess, on a bill, and changed the wording from fence to wall for the border security. And he says it's a little hat tip to Trump and the success that he has. They're starting to get it through their head, what the people want or what the people are looking for. Of course, on Fox, you got Geraldo dipshit Rivera. I do not like that guy. Says he's a conservative, but, well, I could say I'm the Pope, doesn't make me the Pope. He sounds more like a Democrat. And he's sitting there crying, you could build a 100-foot wall, but I still got potholes on my street. It's a waste of money. I mean, you could just go to Walmart and buy a 100-foot fence. Hey, guess what, jackass? You can go to Home Depot and buy a bag of asphalt and fill in the pothole. Stop expecting your government to do it. You know, this BS all of a sudden of the supposed, you're finding out who really is a conservative and who's a liberal. Because these so-called conservatives all of a sudden, you got McCain's daughter up there running her mouth. And she will say anything opposite of Trump because Trump defended himself and went after McCain shot his mouth off. Well, let me tell you something. And McCain has already said he holds no ill will. It's politics. You fire a shot, you get one in return. It's politics. It's what goes back and forth. He didn't take it personal. It's politics. His daughter is acting like a childish little brat. Don't mean about my daddy. Well, sorry. You're in politics. Things are going to be said back and forth. If your father didn't want anything said, he shouldn't have fired the first shot. That's what everybody forgets. McCain started it. Trump ended it. But it doesn't matter. She will sit there and say everything against Trump, and she's just going to stop Mr. and Mrs. Tangerine Picker from coming over. Exactly. There's ways for them to come over here legally to do these types of jobs. There is things they can do to get over here to do those types of jobs. People are crying, we got to do things to stop ISIS, and we got to stop all of these problems with economics. And you go to try to do it, oh my God, you're being mean to people. Put your big girl panties on, shut up, and stop crying. I'm tired of it. And then, I want to see more policy out of Trump. Then open your damn ears. Because I hear policy, I hear very in-depth policy, more in-depth than most candidates at this point would have given. But people aren't opening their ears because they got issues with Trump. Because he speaks mean. He's mean-speaking. He speaks his mind. He says what he thinks and thinks what he does. Oh, my God. Damn, people. Put your big boy panties on. Stop being so thin-skinned. And, of course, you now have Sanders supporters are up in arms. Sorry for jumping subjects, but yes, they are up in arms, and that could show them through a little experiment out there. Normally, when you did a hashtag, you said something negative, and you threw a hashtag out there, feel the burn. They jumped all over you. They attacked you. Bam, 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 bam. They went right at you. They didn't give you a chance. Yeah, he threw out there about Bernie betraying him, and nothing. Why? Because they got betrayed. And that's the way they feel. They know that he betrayed them. He sold out. But the thing is, we have been saying that is Bernie for the whole time. Oh, you're just against what he said. No. Thank you, Kel. That's also an excellent point. You know, ding-dong Geraldo Rivera is screaming about potholes. Well, the reason why he has potholes is because your tax dollars are being diverted to illegal welfare leeches. Money that could have been used to fix those potholes and build a wall to protect the country is being diverted because we got all these illegals in here. And I don't care if Obama's out there saying it, because he has admitted it does happen. Our government has admitted. You got these people. Thank you, Cal. You have these illegals, and they're getting welfare. They're getting all these social programs, and they haven't paid a day into our systems. They're coming in illegally, and our government's giving them housing. They're giving them free health care. They're giving them, welfare. And the amount they're getting is ridiculous. Listen, I have no issue with helping someone down and out. I've told the story where a friend of mine, she helped train me as an EMT. She had 3 kids. Her husband. Yeah, go ahead, Cal. Anytime you want to take something from my show and use it for yours, you're more than welcome to. You don't need to ask. You have permission to do it. Just give credit, if you would, please. Which I know you would. And that goes to anybody. You want to take snippets of my show, at least give credit. Even if you want to use it for a negative piece, go right ahead. I am more than willing to defend my work. I have no problem with it. So if you want to use it for negative or positive, go ahead. Just give credit. That's all. But she was a mother, stay-at-home mother with 3 kids. And the husband just walked out. No warning, no nothing, just walked out. Yes, she went on welfare for a little bit. The government said, hey, we can put you through schooling programs so we can train you. She went for a licensed practical nurse. And surprise, surprise, she went back to work. She was able to support her family. She got taken off the welfare programs. That's what it's for. I have no problem with situations like that. That's what it's there for. Too many people try to use it and abuse it. And That's not what it's there for. You have too many people like these illegals coming in. And then you wonder why we don't have money for education, why we don't have money to fix our infrastructure, our roadways, our bridges, our train tracks. You wonder why. Because all of our money is being diverted to these illegals. I know they came into this country, a group of people came into this country, and they came in illegally. Now, the grandmother came along, and she came along for one reason. Why? Because there's no retirement programs where they came from. So she came to America at retirement age, never worked a day in her life, and she now gets Social Security. She never put a dime into it. Then you wonder why Social Security's broke. And it doesn't help when we have our government going, oh, we're going to take out some of the money from Social Security and we'll put it, here's IOU. They've been doing it for decades. Republican and Democrat alike have been dipping into it. For the longest time, it was able to support itself. It had a plethora of money. But then our government went, oh, well, we can borrow some of that money to balance the budget. We'll put the money back. Hold on one second. Nope, not important. So why don't we take our money and stop giving it to illegals? Secure our border. It's not going to stop 100% of the drugs coming in. It's not going to stop the illegals from coming in totally. But it's going to stop. I mean, if you got a sinking ship and you're able to slow the leaks to a trickle, do you not try to do that? Or do you go, you know what, we give up. Might as well let the ship sink. No. You do everything you can to try to stop the ship from sinking. And if you got from a flow to a trickle, that's a big difference. You can bail out a boat that's trickling. And if you cut off the jobs, they're not going to want to come in this country. Securing the border is one step of many. And everybody's focusing so much on... They're focused so much on to the wall. They don't look at the rest of the plan, that's just step one. Once you have that in place, you also have to put it where these businesses will severe fines, losing business licenses, so forth and so on, if they hire illegals. But at the same time, we need to have a government that's held to the same standards. And that goes with Hillary Clinton, or any government official that misuses, irresponsible with classified information. And I'm sorry just saying that. Oh, I didn't know and classified. Yeah. If you don't know something that important isn't classified, you don't belong being president. Period. We need to take back control of this country, people. And it's not because I'm white and I want to take back control from a black president. No. I don't give a shit what color a president is. I want to get back to... We worry about America first. And I've been saying that for years. I'm tired of worrying. Well, why don't you do this? Well, we're going to hurt this other country's economy. We might hurt that country's economy. We might put some people out of work there. Yeah, but we have millions out of work here. I know, but we can't do that to another country. Yeah, we can. They worry about, yeah, it's our country to lose. Yes, it is, Cal. And it's not meant as a negative, but Canada has the same thing. It's going in the direction that America is going in with the prime minister you have. And Kel, you fight it. You fight it, a great fight for your country. That's why we're friends, and that's why I love you, because you have the same passion for your country as I do for mine. And mainstream media has sold out years ago. Everybody complains about mainstream media. Then when you bring up the alternates, oh, they're just whack jobs. We don't want to pay attention to them. So you want to listen to the sold out people, but not give the alternate a chance. My show may not be professional. It may not be spot on every time I'm on air. But I can tell you this. I give you an honest opinion and knowledge. Every time on air, I give you everything I have and everything I know. Our country is endangered. Canada's endangered right now. And I make the joke of what the hell was Canada thinking? They saw the BS that was going on. And it's other countries too. I mean, they saw the BS that was going on in America. And they just went, we want some of that. But I will admit, just as some Americans, there's a lot in other countries that bought into Obama's BS. They believed the BS. And now they're waking up going, this man's full of... He's so full of it, it's scary. Yeah, we're honest citizens reporting. We're reporting how we feel about our state of our country. And if it wasn't for what's going on, I wouldn't be doing this. And to be honest, what really woke me up, and if you want to put a finger on why I'm doing this, September 11th, 2012, when they started blaming a video. And as I said, even if it's because of a video, I don't care. That's not an excuse to do what they did. They bash, they attack Christians, they attack Jews all the time. We don't go murdering their people like they did on September 11th, 2012. So even if it was because of some video, that was no excuse for them to go on, because the person was making fun of Muslims and Allah and all that. Who cares? I make jokes about my Christianity. I make jokes about the Jewish faith. And I'm married into a Jewish family, and they make jokes, for crying out loud. And that goes to my point earlier. People, learn to laugh at yourself. Everything becomes a lot easier. But yeah, it was September 11th is what woke me up and started. And that was the first time I really came out with a major political rant. And from there, I started getting involved on that evil thing called Twitter. I met up with some people. I wanted to get my voice out. I started doing a podcast, and that's when I hooked up with Sean, and Sean gave me the opportunity to come on air and do what I do. And he's the one, him and Dan the Man Butcher are the ones that suggested, and I don't want to say push in a bad way, he gave me a push in the right direction to do the show 5 days a week. That is why I'm out here. Because I got sick of what I saw in the world, and I got pissed at what my country was doing. And I'll keep doing it. Because even if Trump becomes president, I will still be on his backside to make sure, to the best of my ability, that he's doing the job properly. I will be on Congress to do their job properly. Whether it's Republican control, Democrat control, I don't care. I kind of laugh because I was also looking at, War Radio. And I'm kind of glad I didn't go that route. It was a toss-up I had to offer for both of them. And just Sean made more sense to me. And I laughed because War Radio kind of went to that high peak. And then really what's on there anymore? Just the owner, that's it. And he's looking for other outlets. And it happens. I'm not trying to bash him. Just he was kind of ticked when I decided not to go with him, and I went with Sean. But Sean made the better sense, and I'm glad I got brought on too. I've expanded the show, expanded my audience, and I'll continue to. I will continue to drive forward. I never take my show as being where I want it. There's always something I can do better. And I've been talking with a friend of mine that does marketing, and he's been, he's always, well, I'm not trying to knock you or anything. No, shut up. I want some negatives because you can't grow without knowing where your weak points are. And he's pointed it out. And yes, the cussing and the screaming and yelling may not have been the best thing to do because I could have been turning off a huge audience. Because also if you're listening at work, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're in an office building, and I'm screaming and cussing. You can't have that in the office. So, yeah, that's why I've cut down on it and tried to stop it. And the other thing looking at, because there's a chance I might have for terrestrial radio. And because of FCC regulations, I can't be cussing. Well, we've seen how that's gone lately. I'm trying to take the show in the right direction. I'm trying to do the best I can for the American people that I can. And that's all I can do. Everybody remember tonight. Right here on shrmedia.com. I know I have some corny stupidity about myself, but you have Southside Mutts. Right here on SHR Media, hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. I know Crash has been building up some blood pressure, so he'll be letting loose tonight. What I got to start doing is I got to start giving more airtime for my sponsors. I'm bad at that. Let's see, what else? We got T-shirts galore, people. Please, check them out. You look at them, you're going to love them. Most of the shirts, I think all the shirts are at $14.99 unless you order something that's 2XL or larger, then it's $16.99. These aren't high price. Not high price. I get damn good cotton T-shirts. So, again, as always, I want to thank everybody. Thank you. I'm honored. I can never stop thanking you people for letting me into your homes, offices, cars. And remember, we're SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising, iTunes, YouTube, Spreaker, and there's a couple other that I can't remember, and I apologize that I can't remember them at this time. And with that, I want to wish everybody to have a great, great day. Be safe and be around. And also, we got a great lineup. Wednesdays are a great night for SHR Media. We have the Southside Mutts at 8 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, you have Ken the Conservative. And then at 11 o'clock, you have the Sackhead Show. Now, I believe Ken and Sackheads are in Las Vegas for Freedom Fest. So, tune in tonight, starting at 8. It's a great lineup. You will not be disappointed. Have a great day and be safe, and hopefully see you tonight. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.